Einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Heute gibt es mal einen anderen Stream anstatt Alien. Das kommt morgen wahrscheinlich wieder. Heute zocken wir The Forgotten City. Also die vergessene Stadt. Und das kriegt man alles gut hin. Ich freue mich drauf. Ich hoffe, ihr freut euch auch drauf. Auch wenn ich nie Zuschauer habe, aber jeden seins. So, wollen wir beginnen? Wollen wir beginnen?
Ja,
Ich höre euch nicht. Spricht lauter.
wegen. Weiß ich nicht, musst du ihn fragen.
Was?
Guck mal nach, ob da so ein Knopf dabei ist.
Da sind keine Griffe dabei. Ich hatte die doch
Sind
ausgepackt.
keiner. Die Fressen wir. Spaß. Sind keiner. Stimmt sich doch. Das Mensch stimmt sich doch.
Wenn ich mich stumme, hört man deine Stimme trotzdem.
Oh Gott. Gott, oh, ja.
Einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Wir beginnen mal. Mal kurz in den Einstellungen. Gibt es ja irgendwas Schönes? Sprache Deutsch. Sichtbarkeit. Ja, das stimmt. Ja, ja, ja. Wollt ihr sehr große Untertitel? Wurde da gerade was geschrieben? Scheiße, jetzt hab ich's.
Das war Geheimnis.
Wurde da gerade was geschrieben? Scheiße, nicht gelesen. Wenn was geschrieben wurde, tut mir leid, ich habe zu großen Fernsehen. Ich habe es gerade übersehen. Nein. Hä? Entschuldigung. Aber hier gibt's nichts. Okay. Neues Spiel. Hört man mich gut? Die Gegenwart.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are? It's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Hi Dave. Ganz gut. Und wie geht's dir? Dankeschön. Wir haben auch gerade erst begonnen. Ich bin mir gerade... Du hast einen... Das freut mich. Da schreibt sogar Schatzi. Du hast eine vom Militär ausgegebene Schusswaffe, aber nur 10 Kugeln. Du musst sie mit Bedacht... So, kurze Abstimmung. Ich kenne das auch nicht, das Spiel. Aber kurze Abstimmung. 1, 2, 3 oder 4. Weil bei solchen Fragen bin ich halt immer raus. Ich weiß, dass ich Marvin heiße und nicht Marv. Aber ich nehme da lieber Spitznamen oder so und schreib das da hin. Ach, de 4. Da bin ich schwerer auszuhalten. Okay.
You're just lucky you've been given a second chance. Which is why I feel terrible for what I'm about to say, but I have a favor to ask. There are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can
Ich
find
liebe
that
dich
man.
auch.
He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me
Die
promise
macht
to
mir
stay here,
irgendwie
no matter
Angst.
what. There's no way I'm leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you
Dave.
wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that,
Die war sehr
I can
schön.
get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Mir geht's gut.
Oh, of
Und
course.
frohe Ostern
Sorry.
zurück.
I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
Was ist deine Geschichte? Wer ist Al? Wo sind wir? Was kannst du mir sehen? Hast du versucht, um Hilfe zu rufen?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a damn
Ja,
job.
uns tut es leid, wir sind heute ein bisschen spät dran mit Stream. Alles gut, Dave.
Oh,
Und
I'd rather not say if it's all the same to
schönen
you.
Abend noch, gute Nacht und vielleicht sieht man sich morgen und das am Abend und nicht mitten in der Nacht wieder. Ja, ich sagte schon mal ciao ciao und bis dann, Antenne.
All right, fine.
Ja, deswegen habe ich gesagt
Sorry
abends.
if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Wo habe ich da was? Ja, ich muss arbeiten, ich weiß. Ey, diese Karen-Memes haben den Namen wirklich ruiniert.
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems, like finding Al?
Oh.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al. He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him.
Zuschauer hier. Wunderschönen guten Abend. Ich höre eigentlich nicht zu, aber naja, was sollen wir noch machen? Wenn noch Karen zuhören.
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Ma.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and
ich habe keine
he left this here.
PlayStation-Kamera.
But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Eine Taschenlampe.
Du hast aber eine Kamera, dann spielt auf der Tür.
Eine solide batterienbetriebene Taschenlampe. Jetzt wird mir das mit der Taschenlampe kaputt gemacht. Na toll. Ich hab eine Taschenlampe. Tra la 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 la.
Oh ja, Entschuldigung. Ich sag nichts mehr.
Ich liebe dich, mein Schatz. Ich liebe dich. Bitte sei nicht sauer, aber ich muss jetzt L2 drücken zum Sprinten. Oh. Ja. Aha. Hallo Vera.
Ja, ich liebe dich auch.
Du bist sauer. Aber du kannst deine Taschenlampe senken. Hä? Okay. Hier ist der Rucksack. Untersuchung. Ein Rucksack voll mit abgetragenen. Ein leerer Essenspaket, nichts was dabei, aber trotzdem scheint es seltsam, dass Ari ihn zurückgelassen hat. Gegenstand zurücklassen oder Gegenstand untersuchen? Ich untersuchte mal kurz. Ist nichts. Nee, okay, zurücklassen. Für sie Gegenstand.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city, hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten. All knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here.
Ich lege mit den Zähnen, also Zähne, schlafen ein bisschen. Ja, also ich versuche zu schlafen. Wenn ich dann wieder wach bin, dann liebe ich dich immer noch. Ich liebe dich ganz, ganz doll, mein Schatz.
Ich liebe dich auch ganz, ganz doll, mein Schatz.
Ja, das geht doch so gar nicht. Jetzt habe ich eine Taschenlampe. Was soll ich jetzt damit machen? Ich fürchte die ganzen Leute in die Fresse. Und was soll ich dann tun? Und das Wasser sieht beschissen aus. Na, na, na.
Wenn du jetzt so weitermachst, dann kann ich nicht schlafen. Dann bin ich die ganze Zeit nur am Lachen.
Dann dann ist es halt so. Ich liebe es nicht.
Ich liebe dich auch.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten. All knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal..."
Verdammte Scheiße, du.
The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold,
Gute Nacht,
but
mein
in
Schatz.
vain. For
Guten
this
Nacht, mein
shall be
Schatz.
their final resting place.
Liebe dich, mein Schatz.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds?
Liebe dich
Seems
auch, mein Hase.
there's only one way to find out.
Hatschio.
If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation. Or a warning. Al Worth.
Oha. Was?
Mein Hasi-Pupsi, Schatzi, wie redet man mehr?
Was soll ich denn sagen?
Oha. Ich kann das erklären.
Was viel?
Ich kann das erklären. Ich war das jetzt nicht. Die ist von alleine umgefallen. Ich war das jetzt aber nicht. Oh. Nein, ich war es nicht. Das war die Putzfrau von gestern. Seit wann kann man Gold ersträngeln? 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 Die goldene Statue eines alten Mannes, der moderne Kleidung trägt. Das muss all sein, aber wie ist das möglich? Wie ist er zu Gold geworden?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, she'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. In here, there are only two options: death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right, and I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Okay, das kriegen wir hin. Tralala, la la la, tralala, 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 la la la, tralala, la 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 la. Was gucken Sie so? Warum sind Sie in Panik? Hier ist doch nichts. Ich schubse die. Ich will Sie umschubsen. Okay, ne, da gehe ich lieber. So haut mich meine Freundin, meine Frau, mein Ein und Alles, da haut sie mich, wenn sie gesehen hat, dass auf einmal eine Frau Doggy vor mir lag. Oh nein, das wird schon wieder zu viel. War mal hinhauen. Guck nicht so blöd. Du bist auch niedlich, mein Schatzi.
Erstens ist die durchbrechen. Nicht ist der beste gerade. Mit einer Frau, vielleicht und da steht doch die Worte.
Ich habe gerade überhaupt nichts verstanden, aber okay.
Erstens, was sie, wenn sie das sagt, deine Frau, zweitens, was ist als ob ich diese Statue doch die Foto der Mannschaft warum wäre.
Kann alles gut möglich sein und ich krieg mein... Mann!
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you? And what were you doing in the shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, not right in the head?
Ich bin nicht verrückt.
Friend. Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just saying that name could land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome last year. Horrible business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them, even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So, let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Ah.
Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's...
Sieht schön aus.
It's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Ist gut, alte Lady, ist gut. Wir wollen... Na, Sie haben Demenz. Lassen Sie es bitte. Danke. Nee, ich kann es nicht lesen, ich bin kein Römer.
Right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the village.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. Farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I'm afraid I have to insist. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs? What now? I'm a legionary of the First Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. Daughter, I should say. And the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl. And pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming. trampling each other. Then some Genetricum fugitive tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far downriver. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose. Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Scentilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Okay, Scintilla verschwunden, okay. Das sind die zwei Töchter.
Of course. All right.
Nee, ich bin ganz viel, Junge, ich gehe da nicht gleich hin. Oh, jetzt muss ich da hin. Wunderschönen guten Tag, ich will hier Döner bestellen. Was kann man hier für Sie tun?
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is a
Also, liebe dir, mein Schatz.
If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away. An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries. Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric? I have made my point. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I'd be keeping a close eye on them if I were you. You mean you couldn't speak Latin before you arrived here? How strange. But the gods are active here, and their temples and shrines hum with power like nowhere else in the Empire. Perhaps when Proserpina brought you here, she planted the seed of Latin in your mind so that you could better serve her. An unbeliever, then? If you come up with a better explanation, I'll be interested to hear it. If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense? You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual of Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you? 2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it. All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future? I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you? Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you. Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule? No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation. Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right. Citizen.
Isn't the great temple
of a
majestic?
degenerate mind.
Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Sentia, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath. Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out. Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can. May Apollo keep you safe.
How'd you do? Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius. Terrible shame what happened to Julia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
Schatzi.